Hi there, this is Lee Braham, and today we're going to talk about an SEO audit and how to do it. Let's take a look at an account which is not doing very well according to our barometer. This account is Pierce Family Vision. Let's go and open up the website and take a look. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is have a look at the general overview of the website. So we see we've got some sort of interstitial, we have a funny color scheme going on with this red and green. We have this big call out over here. We have some badges. Okay, moving down the page. We have some reviews on the call out. Not such an exciting site, but let's see what this page looks like in mobile view. Okay, so we're going to inspect the page, and we see that we have a little bit of cutoff over here, a lot of white space, and in a different video we're going to go through and I'll show you how to get rid of it. This doesn't really work at all, this call out, because you can't really read it in mobile view. We have an eye doctor near me, which we don't really use anymore. As we go down to content, we see here that the changes from eye doctor near me to eye doctor near you, so it's not consistent. We're missing some content over here, and it's pretty long. We should basically just have a very small page for mobile view, and also a very long footer over here. So let's take a look and see. Let's close the view, and let's look at the back end and see what, if any, we have duplicate content or things are not showing for mobile and desktop. So we're going to go to the home page, and we're going to go to edit page and page builder. Okay, so now every module that you will see will be over here. So if there's any duplicate content or duplicate images, we will see it. So this is not very good for the badges are not very good for mobile. As we move down, we see that we're missing an icon over here. In a different video, I'll show you guys how to quickly fix it. In this case, it should be, let's go to the button. So let's see what the issue is. The icon color, it looks like it's white, but it could be this is not a real icon. Let's see if that fixes it. Okay, there we go. And as we move down, okay, this was one of those that I didn't see in the mobile view. So let's just take a look and go to advanced. Yeah, we can see this is only for desktop, not for mobile, so that's not good. That should be for both. And I believe this call out wasn't for both. Yep. Okay, so we need to sort those out. I did see, I think, a background over here, but I didn't see the content. Let me see. Yeah, we can see the background because the breakpoint is all, but the content I would assume isn't showing it. So that's again not very good. And as we move down, we can also change the footer. We can make this one of the menus into a hamburger. So there's definitely what to do to improve the site in mobile view. Alright, so the first thing we can do is, after we've looked at the site, is to plug it into Google and see how Google views our site in mobile. So we're going to grab the site and put it into search.google test mobile friendly, and we're going to stick the site in here, and let's see what comes up. Okay, so it's finally loaded. So we see that the page is mobile friendly, but it gives us some issues. So let's take a look at the issue. So page partially loaded. So we know that coming up in May 2021, Google is showing us an update. It's going to basically do a page experience update, and we want to make sure that all of our pages are going to be displayed correctly and fast. Okay, so one looks like an image here, can't be loaded, so we need to figure out what that is and how to fix it. So if we grab the URL of this image and we plug it into Google, we'll be able to see exactly what the image is. Okay, so that's the image that we need to figure out why it's not loading. Okay, so the next thing we're going to check is to make sure that all of the different HTTP, HTTPS, and www, and HTTPS with www is indexed correctly in Google. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the practice name, okay, and then we're basically just going to make sure that everything is indexed correctly. So first we can get rid of the wwws, make sure that's come out correctly. Okay, and it is now without the wwws and the secure. Make sure that's correct, and it is. And now we're going to do it with www, and that's working. And the last one was without www and without the S, sorry, and that's correct. Great. Okay, the next thing I'm going to check for is to make sure that page speed is working, that the site is mobile first, and that it's loading very quickly. So let's grab the page URL and place it into page speed and click Analyze. Okay, now that's finished. We see that we're getting a 74, which is great. Let's see, the first contentful paint is 2.2, speed 3.5. So far it's pretty good. Could be better. So just looking over at the actual search engine land, so the different core vitals that we need to make sure in May 2021 is that the LCP is starting very good at 2.5. The FID is happening within 100 milliseconds, and the CLS is also 0.1. So over here, if we look down, we can basically see that there is somewhat to work on, because the first 4 seconds or so, nothing happens. So we need to make sure that that's going to be faster in the future. Another great tool to use is web page test. So let's take the URL and plug it in there just to see if we have any other bottlenecks. Okay, I'm going to run this now. This could take up to a minute, so just let it run. Okay, here we go. So we see pretty much that it is running pretty good. Let's take a look at the waterfall. The next thing I'm going to look for is zombie pages. This is how we search for zombie pages. We basically take the URL, we type site and semicolon and plug in the site. And these are all the pages that Google has indexed. I'm going to check to make sure that there's no pages that shouldn't belong there. So we have 171 results, which if we look at the report, I believe was pretty on par with how many pages they have. Okay, so let's have a look. So far, it looks okay. Nothing out of the ordinary. I'm just going very quickly, but I see basically that there's nothing that doesn't have meta title and meta description, and nothing unusual. So we haven't like indexed something that shouldn't be there. Okay, so we're looking at 100 pages, and then the next one is going to be another 70 or so. Again, we're just looking very quickly. So far, it all looks like it should be there. And that's it. Okay, the next thing I'm going to look for is pages are not indexed in Google Search Console. So let's go ahead and take the URL. We just need the name without the www. And we can plug it into Google Search Console. We're logged into GMB at eyecarepro.net. That's where the majority of our accounts are. It should be all of them here. I'm going to click on the down arrow. I'm going to plug in piercefamilyvision.com. And let's see what happens. Okay, so we're looking at the coverage here. This is the index coverage and performance. Performance looks okay. Nothing out of the ordinary. It's actually the trajectory is kind of going lower, so that should be something that we need to work on. Looking at the index coverage, we have 0 pages with errors, which is excellent, and 160 valid pages, which is pretty on par with what we had before over here, which was about 121, I think it was 171 results total. If we go back up. So these are all the index pages for the site. 171 results, 168. Okay, so pretty on par with that. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is just double check, make sure all of our pages are indexed. We're going to use a tool called Screaming Frog. We're going to enter the URL into there to make sure that there isn't any pages that are robot equals nofollow. So let's go ahead to our Screaming Frog and put in the URL and click run. Now this is going to take a while till it all loads, but we'll see all of these status codes over here. So these are very, very important to look out for. We see the HTTP is moved permanently, obviously, to the secure. And once it's loaded, we'll go through the whole thing and check. Okay, so now it's finished. We have a total of 546 pages. These are including, obviously, non-secure pages that Screaming Frog has indexed. This is the same as what Google would find. So let's take a look and make sure there's no pages that are not being indexed, that should be indexed, or vice versa. So if we scroll down over here to response codes, we see blocks by robots.txt is 0. Block resource 0 and the response is 1, and basically you get a point. So we don't really have any issues over here. We do have 5 404s that we can go and check when we click on status codes. So we see over here that there's 5 different 404s that we need to check. It looks like there's 2 blog posts and a contact us appointment request page. I'm going to take a look at right now, because that's something that should be looked into right away. As we said before, there isn't any forms, but there is a scheduler. So it looks like this is something that we should make sure there's no other pages that are linking to this one. And I see over here that this is an this is an external scheduler. So this is pointing to My Patient Portal, so it might not load because we're in Israel, but that's something that we're going to take care of any of these 404s. Another thing we can take a look at is all the 301s. These are permanent redirects. If it was a 302, it would be temporary redirect, but we don't really deal with those on our sites. Now these sorts of things we can leave as they are, but it is better to clean them up, so when we get a chance, we're going to go through and check out exactly why they're showing up as a redirect in site options. So that'll be in a different video. Okay, the next thing we want to check is our organic traffic. So we're going to go to Google Analytics, which is analytics.google.com, and we are logged in on, I believe, GA. at eyecarepro.net. Yep. Okay. So to find the our URL, we're just going to grab again Pierce Family Vision and put it into our search bar. Make sure we get rid of HTTPS so we can find it. And here we go. It's in eyecarepro 1. Let's load that up. Okay, so now it's loaded. This is real time. There's one person on it, which is me. What we're going to do is we're going to go to acquisition. So double click over there, or single click, and go to overview. Okay, and this is one view that we can look at for organic search. We're actually going to go through a different way. So this is one view. What we want to do is, first of all, is to look at the last 6 to 8 months. So let's go and click on this arrow over here. And on the first range in this bar, we're going to go backwards. I would go till around May. That's when things started picking up a little bit. And we can do it, compare it till today, from May 1st till January 2nd. Okay, so we hit go. And I actually want to see it in a different view, so I'm going to go to all traffic. I'm going to go to channels. Then I'm going to go and look at organic search. Now these would be all of the different views that we want to see. I want to just first check organically how this how it's going trajectory from May 1st. So as we can see, pretty much it's kind of stable, kind of slipping a little bit towards the end of the year, but it's not really going up, which is a problem. It's kind of going up over here as we saw in our report, and then it kind of plateaus around July, and then it starts heading down around the October, November, December time. So that's something we want to look at. And then if we want, we can just go back to all and see all of the different traffic. So this will be direct. So 25% of all of our direct hits, so it's someone who's searching directly as opposed to organically, but everything else, referral, social, paid, they're not really doing any PPC. So it just gives us a good indication of how things are going and where we can improve. Okay, so now we're going to look at our keywords and make sure our keyword strategy is working for us. Let's go and look back in the report. We're going to go to SERP rankings. Okay, so they've got about 16 keywords over here. I see 2 of them, which is the brand name and the doctor, are in red, so we want to make sure those are open, but they are ranking 1, which is great. And I'm going to show you how to open it in a different video. For now, let's go and look at GetStat and make sure that we are ranking well. So we open up getstat.com, app.getstat.com, and then we're going to again plug in the name. So this is Pierce Family Eye Vision. Click on that. Okay, so again, we're tracking the 16 keywords. Okay, so let's take a look at our competitive landscape. This is our competition. And this is over the last 7 days. It's changed as the last 90 days. Okay, so we can see we are in 3rd. And obviously Google.ca, which is Canada, has the highest share of voice, so we definitely want to make sure that the keywords that we are trying to rank for are working for us. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so we have, let's organize it by rank. Okay, so these are our highest ranking keywords. So these are the keywords that we definitely want to be putting on our site. So eye doctor near me, optometrist near me. I believe optometrist is the more sought after keyword in Canada. So we have the brand name, the doctor. So those are obviously going to rank higher because no one else is called by these names. And then eye doctor near me is a very competitive keyword. As you can see, the CPC is almost $5. So that's a word that we're ranking in third place. So that's something that we should optimize more. Optometrist near me, same idea. It's not as valued, but it's definitely up there. And we can basically see eye exam near me is an even more competitive keyword like a Waterloo eye doctor. So these are different keywords that we should be optimizing for. Okay, another tool that we're going to use is to check backlinks. We're going to use Ahrefs. It's just ahrefs.com, and you can see the account information in our account login sheet. So let's plug in Pierce Family Eye Care, Pierce Family Vision, and check all of the follows and no follows. Okay, so we have 263 backlinks, and we're looking at do follow links 21 and 40 referring domains. So I'll tell you what that means in a second. Alright, so if we take a look over here at DR, let's do domain report, domain rating, This is something that we would call domain authority. It's how well a website is ranking according to everyone else's website, and Ahrefs ranks our site, which is Pierce Family Vision, as 33,550,873 overall, so that's pretty bad. But that's fine because it's not a major website. We see we have 809 organic keywords, and the traffic value, if we were to pay, would be $272. So that would be what the organic SEO that we're doing is helping for this site. Okay, so now I'm going to explain to you about the referring domains that we spoke about before. So if you click over here at 40, it's going to show us all of the domains that are linking to us. So these are basically, a lot of these are citations like 401 CA, and the ones that are higher, they have a domain authority, which is a higher. 17 is low, 4 is pretty low, 80 is very high. Okay, so the ones that are highest, that have our URL on their site, help our site to rank higher. So we want to basically have our URL, right, which is a link to be on higher domain authority sites, linking back to us. Those are called backlinks. So we're going to check now which ones are on which we have on their sites. Okay, so I've clicked DR, right, which is the domain authority. I've sorted it by highest to lowest. Okay, and these are how many links that they have for our site. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to see which links. So as we said before, Top Rated Local has 6 of our links. Let's see which ones they are. Okay, so we have on these different pages, Top Rated Local. So these are all great. These are all good backlinks. Rated MDS, again, an excellent source. Again, these are linked as no follow, so those won't help us. These are follow, so that's strong. And let's see over here, the best rated, we have 1, again a no follow, and so on. So we can basically just check. There's 2 things we want to do over here, is just to check the backlinks that are working, and we also want to make sure that there's no backlinks which are on pages which are not great pages to be on, and we want to make sure that those are we want to basically make sure that those do not have our links. So we have to tell Google that we don't want to be on spammy type of sites. Like if this is a spammy site, we'll have to check. There's 114 of our links on the site, so we just want to make sure if this was not such a great site to be on, that we would tell Google we don't want to be on that site and do a not follow. So if we do see something that looks a little bit strange, we want to do a disavow. So let's just check into this. And don't worry about it too much if we don't see, like this site, for example, not sure where our link would be. Oh, here. So this is basically a sponsor. That would be okay. I'm not sure about the domain authority of this site, but it's 17, so it's not great, but this is something that they sponsored, so if we feel that it is hurting us, we can check into that more. I'll do a different video, but we would do a disavow for those links. Alright, so let's move on from all the backlinks and let's take a last minute look at the report and just to see what other value we can get from it. So we don't have PPC, but we do have a tab called Google My Business, and we can take a look over here to get an idea of the impressions and the direct searches that we get from Google. Again, you can see this obviously in Search Console. And if we take a look over here, we're going to look at the reviews, and we just want to keep an eye on, make sure that there's no 1-star reviews, and that, if they're 5 stars, then we don't really need to reply, but sometimes it is nice to reply on that. And over here, they've got about 63 reviews, and they're amazing, 5 out of 5 stars. So this overall has a lot of different things that we can do to make the site better, and I'll show you guys how to do that in a different video. But for now, we have a lot of low-hanging fruit, like we said, with the keyword strategy to optimize for mobile, for speed, for user experience, and many other issues that we can fix, like the 404s and the 301 redirects. Alright, so that's all for now. Thank you for listening. Have a good one.